10 ways to spot when someone might be lying to you. Have you ever had a strange feeling that something someone said just didn't sound right? Maybe the story kept changing. Maybe their words felt forced. Or maybe something inside you quietly whispered, something about this doesn't add up. Most people experience moments like this. The truth is, human beings are not always honest. Sometimes people lie to avoid consequences, to protect their image, or to gain something they want. But becoming aware of the small signs of dishonesty can help you protect your trust, your decisions, and your peace of mind. Today, let's explore 10 subtle ways to recognize when someone might not be telling the full truth. Remember, these signs do not automatically prove someone is lying, but they can help you look deeper and think more carefully. Their story keeps changing. One of the most common signs of dishonesty is inconsistency. When someone tells the same story multiple times, small details may suddenly change. Times shift. Events move around. Facts become unclear. Honest memories may fade slightly over time, but the core truth usually remains consistent. When the foundation of the story keeps shifting, it may be a signal to look more closely. They avoid simple questions. Sometimes a direct question receives a surprisingly indirect answer. Instead of answering clearly, the person may change the subject, give long explanations, respond with another question. When someone struggles to give a simple answer to a simple question, it can be a sign they are trying to avoid revealing something important. Their body language feels uncomfortable. Words and body language do not always tell the same story. A person may say everything is fine, yet their posture looks tense, their movements seem restless, or their eye contact becomes unusual. Our bodies often react to stress before our words do. Paying attention to how someone behaves while speaking can reveal subtle clues. They add too many unnecessary details. Interestingly, some people try to make a lie sound believable by adding excessive details. They may include long explanations about things that were never asked. While honest people usually answer questions directly, someone who is inventing a story may feel the need to fill the space with extra information to make it sound convincing. Their emotions don't match their words. Sometimes the emotion behind a statement feels disconnected. For example, someone may describe a serious situation but appear strangely calm, or they may become overly dramatic about something small. When the emotional tone does not match the story, it can be a signal that something is not completely genuine. They become defensive very quickly. When people feel exposed, they may react with sudden defensiveness. Instead of calmly answering questions, they may become irritated, offended, or accuse others of not trusting them. A thoughtful conversation suddenly turns into an argument. Strong defensiveness can sometimes be a way to shift attention away from the original question. They repeat the question before answering. Another subtle signal occurs when someone repeats a question before responding. For example, "Where were you yesterday evening?" And the response begins with, "Where was I yesterday evening?" This brief repetition can sometimes give the brain a few extra seconds to create an answer. While not always suspicious, it can be worth noticing. Their timing feels unnatural. Sometimes answers arrive either too quickly or too slowly. A response that comes instantly may sound rehearsed. A long pause may indicate someone is carefully constructing their explanation. Natural conversation usually flows smoothly. When timing becomes unusual, it may be a sign to pay closer attention. Your intuition feels uncomfortable. Human intuition is often the result of subtle observations your brain processes automatically. You may notice small inconsistencies without consciously realizing it. If something feels off, it may be worth calmly investigating rather than ignoring the feeling completely. Intuition is not proof, but it can be a useful signal that something deserves more attention. The story falls apart when you ask follow-up questions. One of the simplest ways to test the strength of a story is to ask gentle follow-up questions. Truthful events usually remain consistent when explored further. But when a story is invented, additional questions may cause confusion, hesitation, or contradictions. The more details explored, the more the structure of the story may begin to weaken. Final reflection. Understanding human behavior is not about becoming suspicious of everyone around you. It is about becoming more aware, more thoughtful, and more observant. The goal is not to accuse people, but to protect your judgment and make wiser decisions. When you learn to listen carefully, observe calmly, and think critically, you strengthen something powerful, your awareness. And awareness is one of the greatest forms of intelligence a person can develop. Because when you see clearly, you can respond wisely, protect your trust, and move through life with greater confidence. And sometimes, the greatest wisdom is simply learning to pause, observe, and understand before you believe.